Hey, good afternoon, brothers and little sisters. I hope everybody's having a good Saturday. Next Saturday is going to be even better, and just can't wait for it. Um, I'd like to start something new in this group if I can, which we've been doing in my Riverside Military Academy alumni group, and it's been an overwhelming success. And that is for you guys and gals to tell your stories from your Georgia days with video. So that way we get the whole inflection and everything, man, more to it. Um, I tell you what, we've been doing it in our alumni group at Riverside, and it's been just going like gangbusters, and so many great stories flooding in, and especially hearing it from the brothers there in their own words and seeing everybody again for the first time in all these years. All right, that's my challenge to throw it out to you guys and gals. And I'll kick it off with a story from, let's see, this was spring of 81 after the final exams. And I was with Ruben and a bunch of us, your brothers and little sisters, were down drinking at O'Malley's on the river on the deck, drinking Long Island iced teas all afternoon long. Oh my God, we must have been there 6 hours at least, and we were tore up, man. And can't believe I had no business driving, but back in that day, a lot of us did that. Um, so anyway, later that night, it was dark, and Ruben and I were driving down. I believe it was still Baxter then, going to the bookstore, if that's right. And I was going to the ATM to pull out some money, and Ruben saw this guy on the side of the road, and he said, oh, he was in another fraternity, and you play with him football. And he goes, man, stop the car, Jim. I want to get out and harass this guy a little bit. So, if you know Ruben, man, I stopped the car. He got out there. He just kind of like pushing on him and like chest bumping and stuff and just trying to pick a fight. But the guy didn't, fight back or anything. So, Ruben got in the car, and I got my money. And I don't know, good Lord, I hope we weren't going to another bar after that. So, anyway, we go back on campus, and I pull my car up into a campus parking lot, which I had a permit for, and all of a sudden we see blue lights roll in there. Apparently, these campus cops followed us in there, and they flashed their blue lights. So I told Ruben, "Man, get out, lock the door, and you lock the door, and get out of the car, because we're in a parking place." So that's what we did, and the guys, the cops said they got a report. It was my car, my vehicle, the description of Ruben and I. Ruben harassed this guy, and they warned us. They could tell we were drunk as hell. So they said, do not get back in that car at any circumstances, because if you do, you will go to jail. So brilliant guys that we were, we just figured, oh, we'll just, walk up the road and wait wait a while and then come back and get the car. So we probably only waited about 10 minutes. And Ruben says, all right, Jim, I'll wait here about 100 feet away from the car. You get the car and come pick me up. So, okay, man, that's what I did. I got inside my car and then I think I started it. Yes, I did. And all of a sudden, here come the blue lights again, like Starsky and Hutch right behind me. So I frantically got out of the car, locked the door, and then lo and behold, I was driving the stick shift, and I forgot to put it in gear or set the brake. And so my car keeps rolling back as they're pulling up behind me. So you mess with the keys, and finally I got the keys open and get inside, put the brake on, close the door, lock it. It's still in the parking place, but just a little bit, almost maybe halfway out, quarter way out or something. And so, of course, they threw me up on the hood, slapped the handcuffs on me, and then Ruben's up the street. He's hollering and yelling, what are you doing arresting my friend? You can't take him to jail. And they pointed at Ruben and said, one more word and you're going to jail. Well, if we all know Ruben like we know Ruben, he went to jail with me. And so, all right, we go to the campus cops, as Ruben was calling them, kitty cops in the car, and we're in the seats with our handcuffs behind our backs. And finally, Ruben recognizes one of the guys and says, oh, yeah, you're Sigma Chi or whatever. We play each other on intramural football. all right, I'm going to kick your ass on the football field, dude. Let's take these handcuffs off and settle it right here. And that didn't go over too well. And so they took us down to the campus police station and put me in the breathalyzer room where they were going to give me the breath test and give me, take my fingerprints. And I remember the cop who put me in there, he was called out of the room and he said, stay right there, don't move. So he left the room, and then he came back and realized he left a big roll of keys on the desk. Those were his keys to get back in the room, so he's knocking on the door. Can you open the door? And I said, nope, you told me not to move, so I ain't moving. That didn't go over well, I don't think. And so anyway, he comes back in, administers the breathalyzer test. I scored a .25. Like I said, all afternoon, Long Island iced teas. And then he proceeds to give me my fingerprints. And after he did one hand, and then he proceeds to do the other hand, I put the one hand on the wall with my prints to leave the prints on the wall. He looked at me and goes, don't do that. All right. So then after all that, and I could hear Reuben, meanwhile, out in the hallway, still in handcuffs. He's yelling at everybody, man, take these handcuffs off. I'll kick every one of your asses, you kitty cops. And, well, after that, they're kitty cops, but they took us to Clark County Jail for the official booking. And they set my court date, which was for 30 days later. And Reuben also as well. He was charged with obstructing justice. I was charged with DUI. Reuben and I, and spring was over. It was summer into June. And we're like, oh, hell, what are we going to do, man? And I didn't have money for an attorney. And I sure as hell didn't want to tell my dad. So we went to court back up in Athens, and we just figured we'd wing it. And showed up at court. They pulled me up, called my case, and they pulled the two officers who had arrested me, swore us in, started telling, they told their story first. I think then I had a chance to tell my story. But the two other officers kept saying, well, this other guy, he kept yelling. And finally the judge said, what other guy? Bring him back. Hey, everybody come up here. I'm going to swear all y'all in again. So he stood all four of us up, put our hands up. We swore to tell the truth and nothing but. And my defense, I can't believe this. I got off without an attorney. My defense was I was in a campus parking lot. They had already warned us not to drive my car away. I just went back to my car to get something out of the car. And I had my keys in my pocket, when they came up behind me for the second time, and car was locked in a parking place. And the judge finally looked at all of us and he said, keys were in his pocket. He was in an official parking lot on campus with a parking permit. How can he be in control of the car? Case dismissed. Reuben and I go walking out of that courtroom, high-fiving each other. And those cops were just like flabbergasted in front of the judge. Okay, brothers, that's my story. I want to hear some. Get them rolling. Keep them coming. This will be a good thing for this group, man. It has been for my other group, and it's been very successful. And it'd be great to see everybody's faces again. All right, brothers, take care.